Hey guys, welcome back. And today we're actually doing like an editing vlog because I'm just done writing Leonardo's book. That is Reckless Fate. And let me tell you, Leonardo and Bella have given me like so many sleepless nights because their book is so emotional and just, a little towards the emotional side. I don't want I don't want to spoil it right now. Okay. It's towards a little towards an emotional side. So I have to like go back and forth a lot. So I was finally done writing the first draft, and so I was now heading towards editing, and I just wanted to record it and like give you the tips and tricks of how I edit my books. And I think it just works with me and could work with a few other people if they're looking for ways to self-edit their book, and so I'm here to help you out with that. Now, starting with my first draft, actually, I write my first drafts very differently from what I've observed other authors writing, because I've seen like so many authors, they just like write whatever scene that's coming to them, and then they're just going to write it down, and then they're going to connect. For example, they write the first chapter, and then they might think of some scene that might occur, a little later in the book towards the end, and then they're going to jot it down as well, and then they're going to write until they connect the scenes. So they write from middle in bits and pieces. Now that is something that I just cannot do, and that is just with me. I don't know if it's with others or not, and I'm not sure if a lot of people write like how I do, because I just cannot write a book from middle, like just think of a scene and then be like, okay, so I need to write this down first, so I'm gonna do that. So like, no, that's something that does not work with me. I have to absolutely go from first chapter to the last. It doesn't matter. I could be getting crazy ideas for what I have to do in the middle. So I'm just going to write that idea in bullets, and I'm going to like jot it down on my phone, in my notes on the phone, and then I'm going to when I'm reaching the part where I have to incorporate that scene, I'm going to go back to that scene, to the notes, see the bullets that I had, and then I'm going to write it. So my first draft is actually kind of like my last draft, and then I edit my first draft however many times I have to until I have my final draft ready. So the first draft is done, and I'm so glad that it's over. I did not expect it to take that long. I mean, I had started writing this in November, and I thought I'd be done by February. Like, I started writing it as soon as Reckless Games released. It's the first book of the Reckless Mafia series, and it's Lorenzo's and Angela's book, and currently I'm writing Leonardo and Bella's book. That is like the second book in the standalone series of Reckless Mafia, and I thought I'd be done by February, and guess what, it's April 29th, so it's like the end of April, and I just got done writing the whole thing, and now I have to edit it. So we're going to move towards our editing, and you're going to find out how I edit my book, so let's go. Alright, so if you haven't already guessed, I cannot like edit while I'm sitting on like a chair, on a desk, on a working desk. I cannot. I need to be comfortable. I need to be on my bed. It's comfy, it's cozy, so like I can edit while I'm lying down, I'm semi-lying, or I don't know, in whatever position. I just need to be comfortable. I have my laptop, I have my drinks just in case I get thirsty, and that's how I edit. So no, do not ask me for I'm going to edit like that. Yes, I am. I'm absolutely going to edit like that. When you talk about editing, I usually just divide my editing into 3 parts. Since I self-edit my books, I do not hire a professional editor. I mean, you could always do that, but well, we're broke, so and we cannot afford a professional editor for now. So we're going to self-edit it, and for that, the first thing that I do is I just go over my book in one go. And by one go, I mean in one day. I just read from the first page to the last page, and I fix all of the plot holes and the things that are not connecting, and any names that I had forgotten or mistakenly changed mid-books, because if you're an author, you know that that happens just so many times. So yes, I do that in my first round of editing. Yeah, so I just fix all the scenes that need to be fixed. I will write extended scenes if I need to extend them. I am going to take notes where I can, where there can be potential for like the special edition scenes, for the special edition version of all my books, which I'm planning that will be coming out later. But yeah, so that is like literally the first round where I'm like just going through the whole book in one day. And the reason that you have to do it in one day, because when you do it in one sitting, no matter how tiring it is, no matter how hard your eyes are going to cry, you need to do it in one sitting, because that way you're not going to forget stuff that you forget over the time that you're writing. That, oh my god, you did not, this was not the name for this character in chapter number 1, and then suddenly in chapter number 20 the name of the character is something else. That especially happens with the side characters, and then sometimes you just absolutely forget there was an extra character that you introduced in the first few chapters, and then in the last half of the book he's or she is just not there. So these are the kind of problems that I look into and I fix in my story to get the story flowing and to remove any plot holes. Remember, here I am not doing the typos, I'm not looking for the grammar mistakes, I am not looking for the developmental scenes, I am just fixing the story and whatever things are not connecting. What I also do is that in this very first part of the editing, I have my notepad, and here I have my notes. You can see here, I don't know if you're going to be able to spot it, it's written Leonardo's book. So, okay, I just got an email. Anyways, so yeah, so that's Leonardo's book, and here I'm going to have all of the scenes that I might have, been inspired from, and these small sentences or dialogues or lines that I have to incorporate in the book and that I might have not already incorporated in my book, because I might just scroll through my phone, go through my Instagram reels, and just get inspired by a video, some reels, and I think, okay, so maybe I can, just twist this a little bit and actually make it a fun part in my book. So I just copy paste those links. I get inspiration from a lot of pins on Pinterest, the setting, the aesthetics, and so I copy paste those links and I make a whole note of those links and the dialogues that I just randomly think overnight, and my laptop is not close to me, so I cannot type it in at that moment, so I have to type it on my phone, and then I make a note of it, and then I make sure that in the first step of my editing I have everything that was on my notes in the story properly connecting and flowing in a flow. Flowing in a flow? Oh, that sucked. Anyways, yeah, so that's the first part of the editing. Okay, now coming back to the second part of the editing. In this session, you do not have to actually read your whole manuscript in one go. You can do it in multiple settings, you can take breaks, it's all cool, because in this session you are actually required to fix your grammar, your typos, and you are going to look for words to improve the vocabulary of the whole book. You're going to look for synonyms for the words that you want to replace with better. You are going to change lines where you're going to see, you can just make this line better, or you could say the same thing in a better way. So that is what my second part of self-editing looks like, and it usually takes me around 3 days or 4 days, because I usually keep my editing process really short, because I am just so in haste to get my book out to the world. So that is the second phase of the editing. There's nothing really much you need to do in that. You just use Google, fix some vocabulary, improve your vocabulary, and as for your grammar, you can just use Google Docs. I wouldn't recommend you using AI for fixing your grammar, Grammarly and stuff. I mean, you can definitely cross-check it with Grammarly, but do not exactly copy-paste what Grammarly gives you. Have a little, human touch to your fixing, and then just use Google Docs. That works for me, at least. Yes, that's a wrap for the second session. Now, the third part of editing is where I actually proofread my whole manuscript from first page to the last page again, and I at the same time now start fixing the format. For example, the paragraphing. I need to see if the words are aligned properly, they're paragraphed. Every chapter begins on a new page. There are page breaks, correct page breaks, there are proper scene breaks with every scene where there needs to be, the pages are numbered, and so it's more formatting editing for your book. And I might make, I am actually going to make a detailed format editing, wait, not format editing, that's wrong, formatting video to help you format your book. No, I do not use any extensive tools for it, no paid tools involved. I cannot spend so much money, I'm literally broke. So yeah, the whole purpose of me literally doing this, writing all of this, is and starting a whole author business, is so I can afford an iPhone. Yep, that's what life has come to. And I had tons of money back, I think last year to afford an iPhone, but I was just like, oh, well, I'm going to save this money and I'm going to put this in my business, and now it went down the drain. And if you want to know what happened, it not actually went down the drain. It was, well, it was utilized for other purposes. And if you want to know how that happened, this is the video where I have explained my life story, and so you can always check that out. Anyways, coming back to the third process of editing, like I said, so you're going to format plus edit your book in this part. Now you're going to be like, oh, so is that it? No, that is not actually it. I have a habit of always, and by that mean always, after I'm done everything on this laptop, I will always have my book on my phone, and I'm going to read it again on my phone. That is my very, very last proofread session by myself, actually. And so in that session, I'm going to read it on my phone, like, you know how you get your books in PDFs and etc. And the reason that I do that is because you are going to always just catch a few mistakes here and there when you read on this screen versus when you read on this screen, because of, well, the size differences. That is going to actually play like a big role. And I'm telling you, like, no matter how many times you edit on your laptop or your tablet, just try to change the size of your screen and then go through your manuscript from the first page to the last again, because you're just going to come across so many mistakes, minor mistakes, that you are going to disregard on this screen, but your eye is going to catch immediately on your phone. So I'm always going to go through my manuscript on this phone, and then it's going to be obviously an editable software. Like, I just use Google Docs, and you can just share the link, an editable link of the Google Docs on your phone, open it, and then actually edit while you read it. So I do that, and that is like the final step of my editing. And that's when the book is done from my end. Then it goes to my friend, my lovely friend, who just loves to read. And so she's like, if you want me as a reader to like give an original feedback on your book and just try to fix things, as in I just give her like the permission to comment on my book on the Google Docs, and then she just points out anything that she feels is a little off, or I could just do better to develop the story better, as a first opinion for someone who does not already know the story, and as for someone who is going to see if the plot twist in my book actually hits. So that is important. Before sending your book off to your beta readers or your ARC readers, send it off to someone you are very close with and you can trust them with, and they are into the kind of genre that you write. Actually, that is also very important. And then she just proofreads it. I obviously give her the credit in my book. Her name's always going to be there. And so then she just adds those comments. I review those comments. I make edits where necessary. And once that is finally done, my book is done being edited, and then it goes on to get published on Amazon. And for that video, stay tuned. Till then, I hope that you are going to keep on supporting me and follow me, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, please.